Here at the Millennium Seed Bank, we store high-quality seeds of 36,000 species, in total 75,000 species, coming from 186 countries and territories worldwide. We are particularly pleased to have a very strong collaboration with the Parco Margareis, which was formalized in 2010 with a memorandum of collaboration. Since 2010, each year the Parco Margareis sends duplicate seed material in high quality to us, and we've received so far several hundred high quality seed accessions for duplicate storage.
Hello there and welcome to the Millennium Seed Bank. I'm Frances Stanley and this is my colleague Vicky Philpott. We're going to take you on a journey to show you what happens to the seeds when they come into the bank. So this is the initial dry room, and when the collections have been checked off, this is where they'll come. As you can see, they have been put into these crates to allow air circulation, and you can also see that the crates are each from a different country. So this shows the diversity of the collections coming in. If we look at a collection in the crate, you'll see it's in a paper bag. It could be in a cloth bag, but it must not be in plastic, as we don't want to have humidity build up. So this room is set at 15 degrees C and at 15% relative humidity. If the seeds are not dried to approximately 15% relative humidity, they can't be stored in the bank at -20. So there is a rule of thumb that for every 5 degrees reduction in temperature and every 10% reduction in relative humidity, the lifespan of the seed will double. So this is why this particular room is so important. And once these collections have been in here drying for approximately a month or more, they can then be taken out and assessed for cleaning.
Hello and welcome to the cleaning lab. After a collection's been unpacked and checked, it can be cleaned. All collections are cleaned in the fume hoods. This is to prevent us inhaling dust, and all the debris at the end is put into a yellow bin to be incinerated. No plant material leaves this building. Here we have some seed heads that I'm going to break into their individual seeds. I'm going to place these onto a corrugated rubber mat and rub gently with my hands. Here I'm going to do some gloved rubbing. We have some seed heads and the seeds are inside them. By rubbing them against the mat, we can extract the seeds. After this, we can pass them through a sieve and then aspirate them. When I rub the seed heads, I rub them gently so as not to damage the seeds. With all the processes that we use, we never want to damage the seeds. We want to keep as many of the good seeds intact as possible. Here I'm going to pass the collection through the sieve. We have many different sieve sizes that we're able to use so that we're able to separate the debris from the seed. Another important piece of equipment that we use is an aspirator. This machine allows us to separate the heavy and light fractions of the collection. It means that, a bit like winnowing, the more dense seeds can be separated off and the lighter fluff removed. It's a very useful bit of equipment. It also allows us to remove empty seeds from the collection. Once the collection's fully cleaned from the aspirator, we clean every equipment we've used with Trigene, and then we count out a sample in order to X-ray some of the seeds to make sure there are no remaining grubs or infestations within the seeds and to check the viability. Once a collection has been cleaned, we take a subsample to X-ray. This allows us to work out the usable seeds within the collection. The X-ray will allow us to see any infested seeds or any seeds with bugs in. As you can see from this image, we have a very good seed here, an infested seed here, and a seed with a bug in it here. However, if the seeds are very small or they're multi-seeded fruits, then we have to cut test them because we are unable to see these from the X-ray machine. After the seeds have been X-rayed, we now take them for counting. At this stage, we are able to work out how many seeds we have in the collection by counting 5 replicates of 50 or 250 seeds. We then weigh the remainder and we weigh these 5 replicates of 50. This allows us then to work out how many seeds we have within the collection.
So the seeds have been counted and they come into the main drying room and they'll be here for at least a month before banking. Before we weigh anything out and put them into the bank though, they need to have their relative humidity checked using the monitors behind me. They need to be below 17% relative humidity before banking. If they aren't, they have to dry further. If that's all gone ahead, we are now ready to bank.
These are how the seeds are stored in the -20. They're kept in sealed jars because the freezers, are not moisture controlled. As Francis mentioned earlier, we have silica gel sachets indicating if moisture does start to ingress into the containers. Each freezer is running at -20, though it's much colder with the wind chill factor, so we have to wear special protective clothing in order to enter it. Special gloves, hats, coats and otherwise boots. When we enter the freezers, we have to put on a personnel alarm which gives us 10 minutes in there. This is considered a safe amount of time in these freezers. We currently have 4 freezers running at the moment, but we have space for 6 more for future. They provide a safe ambient environment for the seeds to be stored at.
Okay, here we have Sean and Maya who are setting up germination tests. So these collections have been in the bank for at least a week and they're taken out and a subsample is taken and they will set up the germination tests according to the conditions that have been put on the sheet. In this case, Sean is having to scarify the seed in order to get it to germinate.
Once the collection has been in the bank for a minimum of a week, we'll take out a subsample and set up an initial germination test. This is an important part of the process and enables us to gauge the initial viability of the collection. These tests can then be repeated every 5 to 10 years. Using prediction tools, we will set up the tests at a variety of temperatures and light regimes on either 1% agar or sand. We do this to mimic as closely as possible the natural conditions in the environment. The germination tests are scored weekly using a fume hood to prevent contamination, and the tests are scored until germination stops or the seeds become unviable. We record the results of the scoring on test sheets and these are then entered onto the computer database once the test has been finished.
This, as it stands, is the most biodiverse hotspot in the world. 6.